In the dead of night, on March 28, 1942, an obsolete British destroyer, HMS Campbeltown, packed with 5 tons of high explosives, rammed at full speed into the massive caisson of the Normandie dry dock at Saint-Nazaire. This was Operation Chariot, a 612-man suicide mission born from a single, terrifying strategic threat, the German battleship Tirpitz. By early 1942, the 42,900-ton Tirpitz, sister ship to the Bismarck, was operational in Norwegian waters, posing a lethal threat to Allied convoys. If she broke out into the Atlantic and was damaged, only one dry dock on the entire European coast was large enough to repair her, the Normandie dock in German-occupied Saint-Nazaire, France. The British Admiralty decided this dock must be destroyed. The plan was audacious: convert the old, 4-funneled Campbeltown into a massive floating bomb, disguise it as a German vessel, and ram the dock gate. A force of 265 commandos from No. 2 Commando and other units would accompany the ship in a flotilla of 18 motor launches and a motor torpedo boat, landing to destroy the dock's pumping machinery and winding mechanisms. The raiding force, commanded by Lieutenant Colonel Charles Newman and Commander Robert Ryder, crossed the English Channel. At 1:34 a.m., the flotilla entered the Loire estuary. German searchlights illuminated them, and a furious barrage erupted from 28 anti-aircraft guns repurposed for coastal defense, plus numerous machine gun nests. The Campbeltown, its forward compartments with 4.5 tons of depth charges concealed behind a steel and concrete casing, pressed on through a storm of 20 mm and 40 mm fire. At 1:37 a.m., traveling at 19 knots, it struck the southern caisson of the dry dock, embedding its bow nearly 11 meters into the structure. Commandos stormed ashore from the destroyer and the accompanying motor launches, which were being shot to pieces in the water. Using Thompson submachine guns, Lee Enfield rifles, and explosives, teams fought their way to the pump house and winding house to plant demolition charges. The fighting was point-blank and chaotic in the port's labyrinthine structures. The withdrawal was a disaster. Most of the motor launches were sunk, burning, or immobilized. Only a handful of commandos made it back to the few surviving boats. The majority, including Colonel Newman, were forced to fight through the town until they ran out of ammunition and were captured. At 10:35 a.m. the next morning, long after the Germans had begun inspecting the seemingly inert Campbeltown, the timed explosives detonated with cataclysmic force, killing over 360 Germans and obliterating the dock gate. The pumping station was also destroyed. Of the 612 raiders, only 228 returned to Britain. 169 were killed and 215 taken prisoner. The strategic objective, however, was achieved completely. The Normandie dock was rendered unusable for the remainder of the war, removing the Atlantic repair option for Tirpitz and fundamentally altering German naval strategy. The raid stands as one of the most daring and costly commando operations of the war, earning 5 Victoria Crosses and the enduring epitaph in British military history, the greatest raid of all.